How's it going, Reef Keepers? Hope everybody's having a good weekend. The tank is just getting going, so there's not much to look at yet, but luckily what I have to show you is not in the tank, it's outside the tank. So this right here is a device that definitely made my daughter's Mr. Chili pretty angry, as you saw in the thumbnail. Mr. Chili's not going to be happy for a while because word's getting around about just how good of a device this right here is. This is the EcoFlow River 2 256 watt hour lithium iron phosphate battery backup unit. That is an absolute mouthful. So it is far and away superior to Reef hobby backup batteries, like the current backup battery technology in this hobby. And I'll kind of go through why. So one, it's lithium iron phosphate, right? If you compare that to like the Ecotech battery backup, the one in the white super heavy metal housing, that's traditional lead acid battery technology, right? So over the course of like 2, 3, 4 years, your capacity in that Ecotech battery backup is going to dramatically drop to the point that either you need to pry open the very difficult to work metal housing on it and replace it with a new lead acid battery, something that I would never be comfortable doing, or you're just gonna have to buy a new $215 unit. This right here was put on Instagram by Telegram, who I highly suggest following. When he finds deals like this, he posts them, and he knows way more about this kind of stuff than I do. I don't pretend that I know really anything about this other than what people like him say and recommend. And as some of you know, I was looking for a serious option to buy myself some real time to react in case there was a terrible power outage that I was enduring at where I live. And this is this is my insurance policy to buy myself the time to go borrow a generator from a buddy and get this thing rolling. Or by the way, just have the luxury of waiting a few hours to see if it turns back on. I'll get into how long this thing lasted me when I tested it in a minute. But anyhow, Telegram posted this, and essentially, I think many jumped on it who saw it because it's $50 off right now on Amazon. Regular price, $239. It's $190 right now, which is well under what Ecotech is asking for the extremely simplistic, by comparison, backup battery option that they have, right? So that backup battery option, I think the only attractive thing is you just plug and play. Like that's all you have to worry about. However, let me walk you through why this is worth it for you, even if you have Vortex. So it has DC, it has AC, it has USB-A, it has USB-C, it has a solar hookup in the back, and it comes with a solar cord, by the way. It also has a car charging jack that it comes with, and of course you can just connect it to your traditional power outlet. It also has connectivity that I'm sure Aperture, BRS, and Ecotech can only dream of for their backup battery solution. So take a look at the app. And by the way, this connects over Bluetooth or Wi-Fi. So you can toggle on DC, AC backup. It serves, by the way, this is part of why I bought it, it serves like a UPS. So they call it EPS, but when there is no more power entering the unit to allow power pass through from like a live ongoing power source, in whatever, they always have a statistic like 10 milliseconds, 20 milliseconds, less than the blink of an eye, it flips over to battery power and begins powering whatever's hooked up to it, okay? This unit with my backup Tunes pump, and I forget what wattage the Tunes pump is. It's not a pushover pump. I mean, it pushes good water, makes good, breaks the surface tension really, really well in my tank. That's what's plugged into it here. That backup solution, the EcoFlow told me I had 14 and a half hours, I think, and it actually lasted 17 when I tested it. So it outdid its own estimate for itself for how long it could run that AC pump. So to me, that's astounding considering the UPS unit that I had here before, that ugly black one that almost came to the end of the cabinet right here, that one only lasted me 4 or 5 hours, like depending on the day. And it was only going to degrade from there, by the way. In a year, it would be, you know, way down from what it was capable of before. So this is head and shoulders. It's that lithium iron phosphate battery technology. Not to take anything away from like what EcoFlow is doing with everything else around it, but lithium iron phosphate is absolutely where it's at. And I think if like Ecotech BRS want to compete with stuff like this, they're going to have to go there. And they're also going to have to do stuff with that big pile of cash from Aperture like this, right? Have a look at this. Here's the different things that you can do, the different controls that you have for this stuff. Everything from screen timeout all the way to like energy management, like discharge limits. You know, if you don't want it to charge all the way to the tippy top of the brim, you can, you know, control that. I mean, everything is controllable. There's readouts on the incoming power, outgoing power. It's, to me, an absolutely unbelievable thing. How far we've come in, like, you know, battery backup technology is astounding to me. This is my first, like, you know, modern foray. Because I don't think that the Ecotech battery backup is modern anymore. Now that I have this, I'm like, that is the most antiquated thing. Like, I can't believe that they're selling that for $215. It makes my jaw drop. It's so shocking to me. I can't even like be disgusted by it. I'm just like, how? How do they think that's it? Again, people don't know. People are like, well, that one goes with my Vortex. I'm just going to get that one. It just automatically turns on. I just plug this cord in and it works, you know. But with an iota more thought, what you get with this. And by the way, according to Telegram and what he's seen of the technical statistics of it, and you know how he's played with his own, you know, EcoFlow, he says that basically if you're using Vortex with it, you should just use Ecotech's estimates for a brand new Ecotech unit. Now, the way lithium iron phosphate works is in 10 years, and I forget if it's like 3,000 or 4, this thing can do like 3,000 to 4,000 full charge cycles in 10 years of charge cycles. It will still retain 80% or better of its battery capacity. Get your head around that. In 10 years, this will have 80% or better of its original battery capacity. Whereas for a traditional lead acid solution, like what Ecotech is, you know, flaunting, a fraction of that. I don't know the real numbers behind all of it. I don't claim to know it on that level like somebody like Telegram, but trust me, it's going to be way less. At the 5-year point, you're going to be looking to, you know, basically get a new battery option with that Ecotech option. So if that's what you went with 5 years prior, I think that this thing is just astounding. I think it looks good. I think it functions perfectly. I think that the feature set is unbeatable. They sell solar, so eventually I'm going to look at their solar options or another one to pair it with and pull out that solar cord and get it hooked up, drill another hole in my wife's wall, make her freak out. It was too good to pass up. Absolutely too good to pass up. And by the way, if you want to spend double the money and get a 512 watt hour one of these with way more ports and everything on it, you know, basically it just gets like, you know, incrementally wider and taller. Totally worth it. If you have that money on hand. I didn't. I wish I did. But if you do, you should get I think it's like the EcoFlow River 2 Pro or Max or something. Look around at their offerings. And according to everyone on Amazon, customer service is responsive. I shouldn't say responsive. It's the wrong word. They will respond. They're inundated and they won't get back to you like immediately. But within, a couple of days or a few days, they will get back to you, and they do earnestly want to help, which, by the way, with an Amazon product, that's pretty much what you can hope for. Like, at least that's what I hope for. If I hear that, I'm a happy camper with an Amazon product. So, guys, don't buy the Ecotech battery backup. Unless you've got it already, just let it run its life, and don't buy it again. Buy this. Even at $239 list price, this is a vastly superior option. So super happy with the purchase. All the credit goes to Telegram. Awesome guy. So glad that he's putting out options like this for people when he sees them. And yeah, guys, if you have questions, not deep technical questions, but questions about just like how it works, how I'm using it, you know, want me to run an experiment on it, please let me know. Have a good one, guys.